Gumby, I'm going to surprise the crap out of you today because I'm going live 2 minutes early. Good morning, everybody. Hope y'all are having a great Saturday. It's been a heck of a week, y'all. Been a busy, busy week. Uh, Dana Reed, good morning. Gumby, good morning. James Randolph, hello, sir. Rune International, good morning. Apparently there was Delp was in the chat. Missed him somehow in the chat, but anyway, glad he stopped by for a second. I know it's late down under. So jealous of their summertime weather. I am. I think when I am rich and famous, I'm going to have dual citizenship and stay here in the U.S. Uh, from May to October, and then go to Australia for the other months, October to May, just so I can have summertime year round. Because I am sick and tired of this cold weather. We got another blast of cold weather last night, and well, yesterday into last night, and continuing today and tomorrow, down into the 40s and like almost freezing at night. So I'm not real thrilled about that, but it is what it is. Let's see. Audio and video are good. Awesome. Secure Tech, good morning. Dave Adion, Miko Wolf, good morning to you guys as well. Um, so, as you can see, I have something really kind of cool looking here. Unfortunately, I can't do anything with it because the software is too old and my computer is too new to run the software. But this is actually a Paxton brand access control software demo. Has the controller board, keypads, exit button, request to exit button, a wall reader for cards and fobs. I think I said the keypad also has switches to activate tamper, door contacts, etc. Unfortunately, I can't do anything with it because it's software based. And like I said, my computer will not install it, which sucks because I really wanted to. And I can't download the latest version of the software for this system uh, because I just can't get to it. Apparently, my login doesn't work to download software. So, anyway, we'll look at it a little bit and look and see what comes with it. Um, kind of talk about the components and everything. Let's see here. Yeah, the kitties are actually being good this morning, Dana. Um, they are black Paxton fogs. We'll look at them here in a second, but they blue actually. They have the blue stripe in them. And then also cards as well. We'll take a look at all that here in a second. Alpha Centauri, Guten Tag. Thank you for joining us. Jay Locks and Y, good morning. Did you try Windows compatibility mode to run the old software? I have not tried that. Let me see if I can do this. I have to do, it gets stuck to updating system configuration. So it unpacks the files and goes there, and then that's about it. But let me try that. Maybe we can do this. Let's see here. Properties, compatibility. Run this program in compatibility mode for Windows 7, I guess. Okay. Let's try that. Hopefully the whole works don't crash. I hadn't thought about that. And it's on a DVD-ROM, so it has to spin up a little bit. While we're waiting on that, this week was mostly access control. Like I've mentioned before, we do probably 60% of all of our jobs are uh, commercial, and out of that 60%, probably 40 to 50% are access control jobs. So that's what we do all the time. I've talked about Salto, and one day I will bring in some Salto stuff because that's probably the biggest system that we install, and it's really, really cool. And that's what we've been working on like the last 2 days is some of the hardware installation and running network cable because you don't have to do low voltage wiring for Salto. You can just run Cat 5 or Cat 6, um, network cable throughout the building and to go to your access points and then back to the source of the internet. There's also, if you have really, really good Wi-Fi, there are access points that operate off of Wi-Fi and just kind of find it and it just works from there. Um, and then those access points communicate with the actual door hardware, the locks on the door, um, which is pretty cool. And you can do a lot of remote access with it, which I know with the system that we sell, which is a cloud-based system. Uh, they do have a server-based system, so if you did not want your um, if you did not want your system to be accessed by the outside internet, you can put it on a local network and secure it that way to air gap it, I guess. Um, and it's really cool how that system works. But we do the cloud based because that's what most people want. They want the remote access to it, just so that they can, keep up with their system no matter where they are. All right, so we're at updating system configuration. Please wait, which is where I was for like 10 minutes before. Um, so James, we will see if that works. Let's see. Smart key system. Cool. Let's see. Only know the green system comes with a shadow card for each fob. So you roll a card stack with a special card, then a set of cards are active, and the user then uses shadow card to deactivate. Okay. Huh. Oh yeah. Yeah, I've seen there's a system that we have here. I don't know if you've heard of it, but it's called Keyscan. It's a brand of system. And basically you have kind of what you're saying. You have a card to enroll, so you use your enrollment card, and then you present the credential for the user, and then you do just repeatedly do that. I've not actually worked on it. Does Cat 5 count as low voltage when using PoE? I don't think so. Um, I don't think it does because pretty much in North Carolina, you don't have to have a license to run network cable. You do if you run like 18.2 conductor wire with 12 volt DC or 24 volt DC. You do have to have a low voltage electrician's license for that, um, but uh, not network cable because they literally hire any Tom, Dick, and Harry who can pull cable to pull it. I've seen evidence of that. A lot of it's pretty good, but there's others that it's like, who the heck did this job? Um, let's see. Never found system compatibility mode to actually work, but it's certainly worth a try. Yeah, we'll see. Um, Cat 5 is PoE, which is low voltage. Okay. Well, in here in North Carolina, like I was saying, you don't have to have a license for Cat 5, whether it's PoE or not. I do know that. But it's weird because of, can, you have to have a license to run 18.2 from a wall wart transformer to a lock controller that's in a door. So I, I don't know. Yeah, I imagine it's required in some states, Dave. Um, so yeah, basically all I can do because the software is not doing anything and this whole thing is run on software, all I can do is show you that whenever you push the request to exit button, the light turns green, things flash, and it's timed long enough to unlock the door for somebody to push the button, walk to the door, push the door open, and leave, and then it secures behind. Um, it does have switches like for contacts, tamper, I think I said that. It does have an alarm, so you can interface it with an alarm system. It has outputs for that. Really, I've never installed a Paxton system before, and the Paxton systems that we have serviced, the only thing I have serviced on them is the actual door hardware. So, like the Adams Right Steelhawk dead latches, or an electric strike, or something like that, an electrified exit device, etc. Um, let's see. Better watch out for the low voltage police. Yeah, really. All right, so about the fancy keys, the pretty keys, design keys, whatever. Had a customer in the other day. He was from originally from Long Island. You can't mistake that accent anywhere. And he asked if we had any Raiders keys, and I just turned to the fancy key display behind the counter, and I said, "You tell me." I said, "I know the Dallas Cowboys, the Carolina Panthers, and the Atlanta Braves, and that's about it." And he's like, I said, "I don't know sports," and he's like, "Well, you got to have uh, Raiders keys." And I said, I I'm guessing that we do." I said, "I can tell that, you're a New Yorker, so you must be a Raiders fan." And he started laughing at me. He said, "I can tell you don't know sports because the Raiders are Las Vegas." I think it's Las Vegas. Anyway, didn't have any. But yeah, I think we have some jet skis. If we do, I will take a picture of them and send them to you. Um, so yeah, I guess we're just gonna kind of talk today because I can't really show you anything. This cool keypad has a doorbell button on it, which triggers a relay in the system to ring a doorbell. So if you have this mounted outside the entrance to your business, you can have people push the bell and it'll trigger. Um, None of the codes. Yeah, I'm not getting any codes because I don't think the system is programmed for anything. Um, it's a really cool display though. Um, let's see. The fob is not. activated. These are the key fobs for the system. And why is that not reading? I tried one of them earlier, and it actually would beep. There we go. Gives me a red light, and the keypad also has a fob reader in it. Won't let me in. And I'm assuming that these cards, since these are completely blank, if you had, well, there's a mag stripe card. God, I've not seen a mag stripe card in forever. But it also does procs, so I guess magstripe can be programmed for like a time clock type system. And then also you can, if you have a ID card printer, you can do your business's, ID card format on here, print it, and that way you have photo ID for the person, for the employee, and also have key fob access. Let's see here. Send him some Canadian keys. Yeah, James, something. Actually, what I need to do is because my boss, Jason, he said he's only ever had this thing out once. Like I opened the CD for, the packaging for the disc that has the software on it. Um, let's look. Yeah, it's not still not doing anything. So I'm gonna say it's not going to do what I want it to. Um, and I should have tested that last night. So that's my fault. Um, that it did not do what it should do. It's my fault. I was unprepared. Um, use Ubuntu VM and tried a Windows VM, but did not get it working yet. I've used Ubuntu. Well, yeah, I've used it before. I knew somebody who had a computer set up with Ubuntu. Um, I would love to get a Mac just because they're simple and it would sync with everything that I have. But I don't make that much money yet. But this little box right here, I believe, is the credential programmer. So you would plug this into your computer that is on the software, read the credential with it, and then you can edit the details of the credential. And credentials a fancy term for fob. Like I said, you can have a fob, you can have a card, you can have a keypad code, and I'm assuming, I believe you can actually have a dual authentication with these. So you would have to, you scan your fob and then enter your code. So that would prevent, like, if you dropped your fob in the parking lot, walking out to your car on lunch break, and somebody saw that, ran up, picked it up. They don't know your PIN number. They don't know your PIN code, so they can't just take your fob and get anywhere if that is enabled in the system. And that can be enabled actually with the CO200 that I showed the CO100 last week, but the CO200, you can actually enable that. And I believe the Trilogy Alarm Lock with the procs readers can also have dual authentication. Uh, Jason and I were talking the other day. We'd love to see a safe lock, for a lock for a safe that would do dual credentialing that didn't cost like, you know, $1,000 or so. Um, Typically, you wouldn't have much call for that outside of commercial. I've done a lot of them commercial, and there are several different ones out there that I really, really do like commercially. But for residential personal use, I really don't see a big, big leap for that. Um, but it would be cool to have a safe lock where you can use your phone as a credential and, so use your phone or smartwatch, hold that up, and then enter your PIN. I think that would be really cool. Let's see. Randomly send 7-volt DC to the non-replaceable SSD. Kill it. That's first I've heard of that, but that's interesting, Gumby. New version of that built-in battery pack antenna only used once. Yeah. Um, oh yeah. The shadow card. So you would have. So in other words, Rune, because you're more familiar with this than I am. So use that, and then is that saying how that's how you program it? Yeah, because I can see the right here, the little pocket. This is just how it was packaged up. I don't think these have ever been removed. I'm not sure where Jason got this from. If he got it from Paxton or if he uh, got it when he was buying out another locksmith. I know he's installed Paxton before, and we know a few. Right, y'all are talkative today. Yeah, you are. Um. Anyway, uh. So yeah, I was hoping to learn a little bit, but unfortunately, since I can't get the software to work. But I mean, it's pretty cool. And a lot of systems do offer a lot of flexibility like this, where you can have multiple credentials, you can have uh, scheduling. All of our, access control stuff that we sell allows you to have scheduling. So in other words, if you're on second shift, your fob will only work for the second shift hours. If you're a supervisor or you're rotating, then it could work at any time. If you're administration, you can get into any door at any time. But it's really, really cool how you can make something like this, just this little thing right here that goes on your keychain, uh, that you can make it work at certain times for certain doors and make all of that work on a physical door. That's really the cool thing about access control, I think, is that you can control anything. I mean, it is so cool. Uh, and really the only regulation with access control, and there are certain circumstances, but the biggest thing with access control is a locksmith. You have to make sure that people can get out. That's the priority. They're not concerned with people getting in, they're concerned with people getting out. So that's why you have, you know, exit buttons. That's why you have passive infrared sensors or motion detectors near doors that trigger. Um, if you ever go into a building, if you're not a locksmith and you're not really familiar with it, if you go into a building and you walk up to a door and you hear a click, like you're walking to exit the door, and you walk up and you hear a click, just stop for a second and look up, and I'm sure you'll see a little motion detector right above the door. It's pretty cool. As soon as you show the shadow card to the reader, that fob is deactivated until you get the enroll card or use the software to code it back in. Okay, gotcha. Do not get shadow cards mixed up in showing it to the reader. Deactivate a random fob. Then you need to activate the user again. Yeah, see that, and I don't have my fobs for work because we have two systems on the shop. We've got Salto on the front door and then Schlage and Gauge on the back door. And the with Engage and Salto, each fob has a serial number printed on there, and you don't have an enrollment card like that. In other words, you don't hold this up to the door to activate it, to put it into activation mode, and then hold the credential up to say this is the one that I want activated. You just program in that number, or we have a reader similar to this for Engage fobs. So you plug that into the computer, log into the Engage system, and then you just read the fob. It pops up in the database, and then you can put in the name, of who it's issued to, add it to a schedule, add it to access groups, etc. Um, Salto, you basically just find a lock, any one of the locks or readers or whatever, and hold that tag. Tag is what they call it. But you hold that credential up to the reader, it puts it into the system, and then you can go back. And what we actually do with customers is we will sit there if they order, say, 100 fobs, we can do, we'll read them into the system when we're initially setting it up, and then say, okay, when you issue a fob to somebody, here's the serial number printed on it. Find that in your list and put their name on it, and then you add it to the access groups. Let's see. Someone needs to tell Tim about Home Assistant that can control anything. I mean, James, I know about like Apple HomeKit. I've got that interfaced with, the deadbolts on my house, and I love it. That's one reason why I've not gotten an encode, because you can't tie the encode into your Apple HomeKit. Unfortunately, I would love to. Um, I mean, I know the new Encode Plus will tie into Apple HomeKit, but we've not even gotten a sales sample for that yet. So I'm not sure. Supposedly, the price point is going to be about the same as a regular Encode. Um, so I don't know, but I don't know for sure because I've not seen it yet. Um, let's see here. A lot of residential locks that use key fobs, use cell phone, mostly for higher end rich people stuff. Well, Miko, no, I mean um, my locks, the Schlage Sense, I can use Siri to control them. And the Encode Plus actually does tap to unlock. So you use your phone or your smartwatch and just hold it up and it will unlock, which is really, really kind of cool. Um, let's see. We have a lot of Rex sensors also tied to an exit button. Let's see. If you do not know about PIR request to exit, you likely do not know about Deviant Alam's channel. Yeah, and I mean, and that's a locksmith secret. It's one reason why I don't like PIR for exit device. It's like, okay, if I was going to design, like if I'm quoting out and trying to design a new access control system for a building, for an exit, I'm going to try to do exit devices. let's do an electrified exit device. That way you don't have to rely on having either a button on the wall and a motion sensor like you do for a mag lock, for instance. We don't install mag locks. We will replace one on an existing system, but we do not do a fresh install of them because you have to have, by code locally, you have to have this exit button and you have to have the PIR sensor tied to that mag lock. So you have to have two forms to be able to exit. And taking the can of electronics duster, the can of air, one of these things, and doing that, turn it upside down and shoot that cold through there, and you get in. That's not good security. And it's a lot of extra wiring, and whenever you have to do extra work, you charge the customer more, obviously. So, yeah, I mean, I don't like it. So, let's see. So yeah, in short, if I'm going to design a new access control system, then I don't put anything in there that requires an infrared sensor. And I may lose business, but if the customer is dead set on having a magnetic lock on the door, I politely tell them to find somebody else. And I mean, I will explain to them the reasons why. There's cost, there's running extra wire, trying to retrofit that into an already constructed building means that we're going to have to fish wire through. It's going to take a lot longer. We're going to have to modify your wall possibly, and basically, yes, we try to talk them out of it, but at the same time, we're also explaining to them that you can use a can of compressed air to open a door from the outside without a credential. So, yeah, Kitty's over here sleeping. He's being good. Um, let's see here. Morning, Jeff. Hope everything's good up your way. Did a video on a magnetic lock yesterday. We are actually not recording an episode of the podcast today. We are doing a Zoom meeting to sort of brainstorm on stuff. Which, please, if any of y'all who listen to the podcast have any ideas or requests for future subjects, anything you'd like to hear us talk about, send us an email to the podcast or shoot us a message on Twitter about it if you're there. Securitron has built-in PIR on some of the mags. That's interesting. Yeah, we just typically just don't do mags though because of all the code requirements. And why do that when you can do an electrified exit device? If we're talking about a fresh install, you know, a brand new access control system, then I'm going to try to do an electrified exit device. If I have to have an exit device on a door, I'm going to do that, or I'll do a rim strike, which, where do I have it? Somewhere in the piles. I know I have it because I showed it to y'all not too long ago. Here it is. Nope, it's not. Jeez. Well, I've got it somewhere. But anyway, a rim strike is the electric strike that you would use for an exit device if you're not familiar with it. That way it simplifies it so much. Rim strikes, uh, electrified exit device is another step up, and then if you do mag locks, that's even another step up. Let's see, I have 4 doors at the front, 2 on mag lock, 2 with exit devices. I keep the exit doors dogged. Then in an emergency, I can lock the mag locks without restriction of exits. Yeah, radar and LiDAR sensors. That can't be easily bypassed. Yeah, Jeff, I don't like full glass doors, frameless. Ooh. Well, if they got Herculite doors, I ain't touching it. I hate I hate even rekeying cylinders on the bottoms of Herculite doors. I dislike Herculite doors intensely. Really don't like them. Yeah, the rim strikes in the truck. Yeah. No, it's somewhere in here because I don't drive my work truck home. I leave it at the shop. Is this it? This is part of it. No. Anyway, I've shown it before in videos. Okay, so I like the mags because they're tied to the key at my desk. I can secure entry at any time by turning the key. That's pretty cool. Um, yeah, I mean, but you can do the only thing, like if you did an electrified exit device that you wanted to leave open but be able to secure with the touch of a button, you would have to run power to that electrified exit device to the retractor motor constantly, which of course is going to burn it up after a few years of constantly running power through it. Um, so yeah, I guess for a lockdown situation like that, yeah. Now if you had storefront aluminum doors, you could do steel hawk, like the Adams Wright electrified dead latch, um, because you can set that to fail safe or fail secure. So if you did it to fail secure and then set the system to cut voltage to the lock whenever you wanted to secure it, then I mean, I guess that would be one way. I'm trying to think through this in my little pea brain. Um, it's only been doing this a little less than 2 years. Um, let's see. Am I buffering on y'all's end? Just wondering. Um, but yeah, as you can see, I've really gotten to like access control. Um, Jeff knows I'm trying to do safe work. Um, Trying to learn that really. I've got a cache vault safe. Jeff, I need to send you pictures. When I go back to work Monday, I will send you pictures of the hash that I've made of that cache vault safe. I'm not proud of it. Um, but I doubted myself, and that was my biggest thing. I doubted myself, and fortunately, it was just going to go in the dumpster anyway. But it's turned into a good training tool for me. Plus, I got a couple doors in here that I could practice on if I needed to. Um, but yeah, it's not great. Yes, buffering, but not too bad. Okay. It's probably because my phone is on Wi-Fi. Um, Anyway, guys, I'm so sorry that this just didn't work. I wanted it to work because you can go through programming, you can go through, everything else. Everything is already wired in here, which I know you guys would love to see me try to wire something again, and I will in the future. Look for some more access control videos if, um, because we do it all the time, so I get that. I get the stuff, and I'm gaining the knowledge and everything. I gained the knowledge yesterday that when you're using existing Cat5 cable, and it's about you have about that much lead out of the ceiling tile, and you have to crimp a connector on there. Trying to do the Cat5 connections like this on top of a ladder is not fun. Um, but hey, it works. The access point worked. Again, another Salto system, and it works really well now. There are a few things, and I need to bring in Salto, and I'm actually going to try to get one of their reps to come on live with me, um, just so we can talk about Salto and have kind of get you guys let you guys see it. I know Tyler Newhouse emailed me a couple weeks ago because he was interested in it. Tyler, I don't know if you're watching right now, but I will. I replied to your email, but I replied to it. I texted the number that was in there because that's sort of the whole Salto thing it involves a lot of conversation. Let's see here. Let's see. Box of locks I'll send you. Not sure if Mossman is interested in safes. Um, Jeff, I don't know if Moss is. I don't know. I'll have to ask him. Um, let's see. So horrible and probably non-compliant system that I saw. The exit button was a wireless remote of questionable quality and not permanently attached. What if the battery dies or remote is snatched? Um, I have actually seen one of those. Well, no, let me take that back. It was not a request to exit wireless remote. It was a wireless remote for an electric door operator, which we don't work on door operators because that typically involves high voltage, and we just don't do it. Yes, I know there are a few on the market now, especially the one that Allegion makes for the LCN 4040, that you basically just attach to a 4040 and it converts it into a door operator. But anyway, um, the system that I saw, it was at a restaurant, and they weren't really using it as access control, but the uh, host or hostess at the little front had the button to open the door for people, and that was because the button on the outside stanchion was not working. And of course, what we got, the request for service that we got was door won't open. We show up and it's all that. I said, yeah, you gotta call somebody who does door operators. Um, but yeah, if your emergency, if that right there is wireless, I don't think that would be legal. I wouldn't want it, knowing what I know. Just found my wireless keyboard has a power button. That is why not even replacing the batteries made it work again. No keypad programming on what, Miko? All right, Jeff, I will ask Jeff. ADAEZ. It's really nice. Okay, I'll check them out. Jewelry store, control the lock. Gotcha. Um, and there was no, that was the only way to exit, James, on a jewelry store because we've done countless, like at least a dozen, like couple dozen customers just in the past year and a half that wanted to be able just to have a button to buzz people in. Um, but we always made sure there was free egress, not dependent on power. I've done one system install where it actually used an asylum lock because they wanted accountability for entry and exit. Normally, uh, there was an emergency exit door to the exterior in that same room. It was a small room, actually not much bigger than my shop. And but we did a DTEX alarm on that, and they wired their access control system. They provided their own access control system, but it wasn't all hooked up yet. So we just did hardware, which was really kind of weird. And I'm not going to do that again. Unless if I put it all in writing that, if hardware does not work with your access control system, then you will pay me to come back out to diagnose the issue. Because I can't test it. If their stuff is not ready to go, how can I test my stuff? But anyway, I digress. But yeah, it was, that's the only system where you had to fob in and fob out that I've ever worked on. Let's see, access control yoga. Oh, this. No, I don't, Miko. I don't think that you can do keypad programming. Um, yeah, if it's if it is able to be programmed from the keypad, I can't do it. Now the Seek Alarm enforcer keypads, Seek Alarm or IEI keypads, uh, like I showed, I know, yeah, I could find this, but not the rim strike. These you can program from the keypad because they're standalone systems. This having a central controller, I don't think that you can program from the keypad. Not in the customer area. Okay. It's a back door, but I've never seen it. Not in the customer area. Huh. Yeah, James, there's so many code issues like that where as a locksmith you have to know those codes, or at least you have to have a really good gut feeling about them. Um, I told a customer of ours no the other week because they wanted, it was actually a private school, and they wanted to install deadbolts on double doors going into the gym, and the doors had exit devices on them. I'm like, nope, nope, ain't happening. Even if you get that approved by the fire marshal, I'm not doing it. And I told my boss, I said, if they call us and say, hey, we've got it in writing, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to be the person on record for doing that. So yeah, let's see. S&M Lock and Key, good morning. If you got the manual on it, it will tell you. Yeah, Miko, I don't have the manual for this. But I'm 99-ish% sure that you can't program these manually just from the keypad because this system is designed to be controlled by software. Um, or, like Rune just said, you get a stack of the magic programming fob cards with the system. Enroll, open time, fail save, unsafe, buzzer activate, deactivate. Yeah, which is clunky to me. That's clunky. Um, anyway. Alrighty, guys. Well, I'm sorry I couldn't show you more today. Wish I could have. Wish I could have made this work, but y'all have heard me just kind of ramble on and try to get through all this as best I can. Next access control system that I bring will be a little bit better. I promise. It will be, we'll actually be able to do some stuff with it. So, um, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and start to wrap it up. Let's see. How about asylum locks into a courtyard? What the bleep? Really, Jeff? And the inspector said yes? Asylum locks into it? What the hell, man? No. No? I mean, okay. If the courtyard is like half an acre, like half an acre, maybe I could see it. Maybe. But not really. Who the hell would want that? Jeez. Hi. Yeah. Cheeky man, good morning. Yep. See your Twitters to see one of the cards. Let me look that up. I have to go to Twitter on the computer because my phone is the camera and I can't go in. Well, all right. Okay, cool. Yeah. Um, I've not seen, I don't have one of those, ob obviously, but, okay. Yeah. Um, I mean, and what I may be able to do is get Jason to, um, let me download, like, I'm sure we have access to get the latest software to where I could my, uh, put it on my computer. So I'll get it. I'll borrow this again from, I could probably honestly just store it here because it was collecting dust and had like 5 dead bugs on top of it up on the top shelf in the back of the shop. Oh, I literally picked it up and blew the dust and dead bugs off of it. Let's see, when I was doing maintenance, I had a bunch of those key fobs. Yeah, yeah, Mika, there's, I don't know, I don't know, a lot of old systems. I hate doing old systems. Like, not old as in it's old technology or it's taking over a system from another provider. In other words, somebody calls you in to say, hey, the last guys couldn't fix this. Can you? I've got a customer actually, I sold them like, I don't know, like 20 grand just in the last 3 months, I've sold them about 20 to 22 grand worth of parts and labor. And they're great customers. And they had another company come in to do access control for the building. And it's one of those access control slash alarm companies, not a locksmith company. And now their concealed vertical rods in their front lobby door don't work with the electrified exit device. They have to get up and push the door open for people. We're on the schedule to go fix that this coming week. Let's see. Also had an inspector ask for a sprinkler system in a molten metal plant. What the hell? Dude, that's just wow. Let's see. Does it even come with USB or go to old? Does what come with just USB or RS-232 serial? Rune? Rune? Industrial parks love silent alarms along with federal and state buildings. Yeah. Well, in jewelry stores, banks, they like silent alarms too. Um, if I had an alarm on my house, I think I would want it to be an audible alarm if somebody broke a window or a door, but be a silent alarm if they did a key or lock bypass. I think that would be cool. In other words, if you're being sneaky getting in, I'm going to be sneaky catching you. Um, you know, I mean, if you're going to make a lot of noise when you break in, then I'm going to make a lot of noise. Of course, if I'm at home, there's going to be like two or three noises, and that's it. And they're going to be pretty loud noises. Let's see the programming interface. This one, for that, it is just USB. That's all that it has with it, just a USB jack. Which our Schlage and Gauge reader, I think, is the same way as well. It's just a USB connection. I have a silent alarm. Jay, yeah, I prefer good old Mossberg. My house is protected by Mossberg. It's the Mossberg 500 security system. Um, and it is definitely not silent, but you won't hear it go off if you're the one breaking into my house. That is guaranteed. Uh, if I'm at home. If I'm not, then you're going to be sorely disappointed with what I have anyway. Um, Jeff, that takes me back to the old days because my dad, he worked. His job was hospital maintenance supervisor, but he actually had his electrician's license, and he could do low voltage and residential and some commercial. And anyway, he had a buddy of his that had an alarm installation company. So we're talking like mid '90s alarm installation, and Dad would take me along with him. And anytime there were any spare parts or demo parts or anything like that that he could kind of snag hold of, I would love to play with him. And we had I got a controller board, motion sensor, and a speaker and you could record. It was an old one where you could record like a 10-second voice message, and it would store it in the memory. It was so cool. And or like 10, 15 or 20 seconds maybe. Um, but I set it up. I actually wired a door contact for my bedroom door and had a motion sensor to where when it was tripped, the speaker would blast, "Hey, get out of my room!" Or I'd record, like, I'd watch something on TV and record like the sound of gunshots or something like that. Mom hated it. She made me take it down because she was always breaking into my room. Because I mean, she was my mom, and I was you know, I was a kid, so you know. Eh. But anyway, let's see here. I don't think you want the robber to panic in a bank robbery. You want the employees to feel comfortable setting off the alarm. Yeah, in a bank robbery, you want a silent alarm. Um, Same with the jewelry store. You don't want anybody to panic. You just want it to go smoothly and notify police as quickly as possible. Alrighty, folks. Well, you have listened to me ramble on. Dana, did we lose you? Did I lose you? I know I've been talking technical today, but I haven't seen you say anything since kitties. So here, here's a let go, please. Let go. Here's the obligatory kitty. Um, I'm surprised he hadn't tried to sit in the box, but he's being a good boy today. Fancy modern USB stuff. Same Mossberg 500 security system. Yep, that's a good one. Don't even have to change the batteries or pay monthly fees on it. Okay, Dana. There you are. All right. So here's your obligatory kitty shot. Yes. Al, please don't cut my throat. Please. Multitasking. Gotcha. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and wind it up. Let's have the cat let us out. There we go. Kitty, let us out. Um, Kitty, please don't break stuff. Please don't spill that. All right, folks. So, anyway, I appreciate y'all tuning in. Um, Check out the Three Tumblers podcast. The upcoming episode is, I will tell you here in a second because we record about 2 weeks behind. Let's see, I don't remember what just came out. See, episode 13 is quoting. Episode 14 is sourcing. So, quoting, I think, will be out tomorrow, and sourcing will be out next week. Um, Both pretty cool topics. I think we're gonna change some. I don't know about changing some things up, but we're gonna definitely talk about some different stuff coming up. That's what we're gonna be planning today. So anyway, if there is anything with uh, locksmithing that you would love to hear on the podcast, please let us know. Jeff has not gotten any mail since we have started. So please send him some mail about the podcast. I am typing in the email address now. And I am also putting in the Twitter handle. So please send Jeff some mail. He's a good guy. He's nice. Good friend to have. So just send him some mail about the podcast. If you've not listened to it, it is called The Three Tumblers. It is on Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, Transistor, and pretty much anywhere else that you get podcasts. It's also on Tyler Thomas's channel, which he has renamed The Three Tumblers. So listen to it if you ain't got nothing else to listen to. Let us know. Let us know what you think about it. Let's see here, and I will do one last check of the chat. Let's see, there's a system that pretends to be a couple talking about hearing something and getting a gun. It's pretty good. Yeah. Yep. The cat scratch fever will be, I think cat scratch fever will carry on with them. Yeah, that's definitely a rescue panther, Jay. Yeah, no. Yeah, let's see. Good to see the cats know how to operate the exit button. That is good until, well, I don't have access control in the shop. I think one day when I might put access control on this shop just so we can have something to do on Saturday mornings sometimes. You know, that might be. Let's see. Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. How's that for quoting? Gumby, that's good. You like the podcast? Awesome. Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate that. You want more access control stuff? James, is that here on this channel or on the podcast? If it's on the podcast, let Jeff know. Either the email or the Twitter account. One day we might have a Facebook account, but right now it's just email and Twitter. Um, Access control stuff here definitely will be coming up, but for a rounded discussion between three locksmiths who are in three different aspects of every subject, tune into the podcasts. Sometimes four locksmiths. We do have a couple guests, hopefully, that will be coming on. Let's see. Da, 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 da. Let's look here. Yep. Punches are best for um, punches are best for keys. Jeff, does your keyboard not understand the words coming out of your fingers? My keyboard doesn't understand the words coming out of my fingers a lot of times either. Yep. Take it both places. Awesome. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and wrap this up. Folks, again, I apologize for really not being able to do anything with this display, but I do appreciate you tuning in. Y'all have a great weekend. Stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy, stay out of trouble if you can. If you can't, yeah, we'll understand. See you next time. Have a great weekend, y'all.